The sky above Kalen's Rest burned green that day. Not the soft emerald of dawn through misted leaves. No, this was the cruel radiance of plasma fire, cutting through atmosphere and flesh alike. The Vrake Dominion's flagship hovered above the shattered human colony like a vulture over Carrion. Its commander, High Castellan Threx, watched the destruction unfold through the holographic display. Cities melted into glass. Transmission towers screamed static before collapsing into slag. Millions of human lives blinked out, their distress calls unanswered. He leaned back on his throne of bones, real bones, taken from conquered species, and laughed. "Such fragile things," he said, the translator rendering his voice into a guttural sneer. "They call themselves builders, but when struck, they shatter." The officers of his bridge hissed in agreement. To the Vrek, humanity was a curious anomaly. A young species that had spread quickly, built colonies that thrived in the harshest corners of space, yet always sought peace. When the Dominion demanded tribute and subservience, the Terran Council had offered treaties instead of resistance. Diplomacy, not defiance. To the Vrek, that meant weakness. When Threx's fleet obliterated Kalen's Rest, there was no declaration of war, no challenge, just a message to the galaxy. Humanity has no teeth. "Transmit the feed to the net," Threx ordered. "Let every world see what becomes of those who defy the Dominion. Let them see the humans weep." His aide complied, broadcasting the massacre across the interstellar web. The screams of colonists, the dying light of a city, the Dominion banners rising over ashes, and far away, in the quiet corridors of the Soul Defense Network, humanity watched. They said nothing. Not yet. The arrogance of Breaker's weeks passed. The Dominion celebrated. The destruction of Kalen's Rest was replayed on every Vrike channel, accompanied by triumphant hymns and propaganda broadcasts. "The Breakers bring order," they proclaimed. "The humans are finished." In the Grand Chamber of the Dominion, ambassadors of lesser species bowed before Threx and his peers. Even the mighty Joralin Accord, old allies of humanity, said nothing. Fear ruled the stars, and the Vrak fed on it. Threx received gifts, weapons, ships, slaves. Among the prisoners taken from Kalen's Rest was a human envoy, a diplomat named Mara Ives. She had been captured during the evacuation, spared only because Threx enjoyed breaking spirits. He brought her before the Dominion Council, a frail figure in scorched envoy robes, her eyes hollow from loss. Threx circled her like a predator, his claws clicking against the marble floor. "Tell us," he hissed, "why do humans beg for mercy when they know they cannot fight?" Mara looked up, blood on her lip, and whispered, "Because you haven't seen us fight yet." Laughter filled the chamber. Threx struck her down. The impact echoed like thunder. "Your people are dust," he snarled. "Your Earth hides behind walls and treaties. You're broken." Her reply was faint, but every recording device in that room caught it. Her last words before the Dominion executed her live for the galaxy to see. "Then you should remember. Breakers shatter too." 3. The silence. Before the storm for 47 days, humanity did not respond. No fleets launched. No speeches were made. The stars above Earth remained quiet, an uneasy stillness spreading across every human world. The Dominion took this as confirmation. They mistook silence for surrender. They called it the era of Dominion peace. Their fleets pushed deeper into Terran territories, seizing border stations and trade routes. Human civilians were enslaved or executed. Every captured ship was paraded as proof of humanity's fall. But deep beneath the oceans of Europa, in the black vaults of Luna, and within the iron caverns of Mars, humanity was not silent. It was listening. Data streams flowed in ghost signals. Coded whispers moved between stars. Orbital foundries began to hum at frequencies no alien sensors could detect. Hidden fleets, long disbanded after the Orion conflicts, reactivated under new command codes. The Black Line Protocol was invoked. No one outside Earth's highest defense councils even knew such a protocol existed. The last time it had been considered was during humanity's near extinction at the hands of the Scourge. The Dominion didn't realize that humanity's peace wasn't weakness. It was restraint, and restraint has limits. When the 48th day dawned, Dominion listening posts along the Terran border began to detect strange anomalies, encrypted transmissions repeating a single line. Echoes of the broken awaken. Then, silence again, the kind that makes predators uneasy. Fool. The awakening on the 50th day. Dominion fleets stationed in the Ardent sector, 12 systems occupied after Kalen's rest, began losing contact. At first, it was dismissed as technical failure. Then, one by one, their ships went dark. When reconnaissance drones arrived, they found wreckage. Not battle scars. Obliteration. Warships the size of continents had been split cleanly in two. The remains drifted silently, their crews reduced to dust. Hollow recordings recovered from one Dominion ship showed brief flashes, human vessels emerging from FTL folds, moving faster than known physics should allow. Not standard Terran designs, these were black-hulled, angular, bearing no insignia. Their weapons emitted no light, no sound, only results. The space around them folded, crushed, consumed. One Dominion captain managed to send a transmission before his ship vanished. "They're here. The humans. They're not fighting back. They're erasing us." The message spread like wildfire across the Dominion net. Confusion, disbelief, panic. Threx ordered the full fleet mobilized. He declared it an isolated rebellion, a terrorist act. But by then, the Terran flag, black background, broken circle of white, was already appearing across the conquered systems, and a voice began transmitting across every frequency, calm, cold, human. "This is Admiral Ives of the Terran Retribution Command. To the Vrake Dominion, your war crimes have been recorded, your worlds marked. We are not diplomats anymore. We are the broken. And we are coming. V. The thunder of retribution." The human counteroffensive began in silence. Then came the thunder. The first major strike hit the Vrake home fleet orbiting Draven Prime. 25 Dominion dreadnoughts stood guard, confident behind their planetary defense grid, a system thought impenetrable. The humans didn't breach it. They rewrote it. A quantum signal rippled through the grid, flipping its targeting parameters. The planet's own defenses turned inward, unleashing hellfire on their own ships. While the Dominion scrambled to react, a new kind of human warship emerged from the void. The HSS Revenant. It was vast, blacker than deep space, its hull etched with adaptive armor that shimmered like a storm. No banners, no call signs, only one emblem on the bow, a fractured circle. The Revenant opened fire once. Draven Prime's defense fleet ceased to exist. From there, the war became a cascade of annihilation. Human fleets didn't invade. They erased. Each strike was methodical, emotionless, surgical vengeance refined into art. Vrike communication hubs dissolved under kinetic bombardment. Shipyards collapsed into their own gravity wells. Command centers were reduced to glass. And with each world they lost, the message was clear. You wanted silence. You made it yourselves. Admiral Ives's broadcasts continued, her tone never raising, never shouting. The calm of judgment, not rage. You called us weak. You called us broken. But when something breaks, its edges cut deeper. Now you bleed. Entire Dominion sectors fell in weeks. Their vaunted war engines, once the terror of half the galaxy, were hunted through hyperspace corridors and dismantled mid-jump. The humans had learned to weaponize fold space itself, collapsing enemy fleets before they even re-entered real space. It wasn't a war anymore. It was extermination. And across the stars, species that once mocked humanity watched in frozen awe. As the Dominion, the galaxy's unbreakable tyrants, were shattered. Fixie. The fall of Threxon. The 90th day. The final battle came. The Dominion's core world burned beneath its dying suns. Fleets scattered and broken. The High Castellan Threx stood in the ruins of his command citadel, surrounded by shattered banners. The sky above him was filled with human ships. Thousands, blotting out the stars. Orbital bombardment had already erased his armies, his cities, his future. Yet he refused to flee. When the human landing craft descended, he expected soldiers. But what stepped out were ghosts. Armored figures in matte black exosuits, their visors glowing like dying stars. Their movements were silent, precise. They didn't speak, didn't demand surrender. One stepped forward, tall, deliberate, and removed her helmet. It was her. Admiral Mara Ives Threx staggered back, disbelief breaking through his arrogance. You were executed. Her gaze was cold iron. You killed my sister, she said. Mara Ives was my blood. I am her echo, Threx sneered. You think, this vengeance makes you whole. She raised her weapon, the hum of its charge filling the air like distant thunder. No, she said softly. It makes us human. The shot vaporized him where he stood. Sicked. The silence. After when the war finally ended, there was nothing left of the Vrake Dominion. Their worlds burned out, their fleets scattered, their history erased. Humanity didn't occupy. They didn't enslave. They simply left, leaving behind ruin as a monument to restraint lost. Across the galaxy, the whispers began. Never provoke Earth. They waited in silence. They broke the breakers.